I think something magical is happening here today. Am I still out there? It seemed to be going in and out. So I apologize if you're losing me from time to time. But I want to start off today by asking all of you again to light your candle in honor of Doves for Peace, as it is tradition. Whether you light your candle in front of you or within you, and perhaps you would like to light both. And let us light our candles and imagine all of our lights inside merging together as one. As I see all of the viewers out there listening in and watching me here today, imagine if we became one big light to shine ourselves to the world, to the earth, to the universe, to all those that we come into contact with, because that is part of the reason why we are here, to help not only ourselves first, so that we can light ourselves within, so that we can move forward on our path and be that light, that shining light that others can sense, others can see, and others can hear the light. Some will see all three, and some will only feel the warmth, or whatever it is that they are capable of doing at this time in their life. So, again, hello, I am Sanetha, and welcome to the program. Today, I didn't give it a title because since the energy is changing so quickly, I thought it would be more appropriate if I spoke to you about what was going on with the earth and the universe and ourselves as it is happening. As many of you know, there's so much going on right now. So if there's some of you on the program that haven't been to Sanetha Speaks on Doves for Peace before, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and how I came to this place on my path on this journey called life in this particular lifetime. Yes, this particular lifetime, I was born in a Dutch family who immigrated from Holland into Canada, and I am the middle child of five daughters that my parents had. Both my parents have transitioned to the other side. And while on this path, on my spiritual path, I was always very different than the other four siblings. I had something inside of me that was driving me in directions that led me to speak now in front of you on this show and many places to bring my message, a message that I had burning inside of me, a message that I had been carrying with me, not only in this lifetime, but many other lifetimes. So, along my path, I came to know who I was in a previous life, a life just less than 5 months before this life. Along my journey, I was shown who I was. And while I was being shown who I was, I also discovered when I was born in that life, when I died in that life, what my career was, who my family was. And more astonishing than any of all of that, what was astonishing to me was that it was less than 5 months between this life and that life. And even more surprising was I had always believed in past lives and reincarnation, but I had no desire to know anything past that. Meaning, what I mean is, I believed in it, but I didn't search any meaning behind it. I didn't search out to discover who I was in any of my lifetimes. I had no past life regression. And even though I do strongly believe in that process, there are some very good people out here that everywhere on this earth that are performing past life regressions that should you be interested in any of that, what resonates with you, perhaps you should follow your heart for that desire. So, along the path, as I discovered who I was, and not in a female body in the previous life, and having left the earth very suddenly and had experienced a near-death experience before that. I know many things about that life and many of my lifetimes since then. Well, when I discovered who I was, I didn't know what I was supposed to do with this information. I began a search, a long search. Well, to me, it seemed fairly long, about 18 months. And, as I have said many times on this program, there's a reason for everything. So when you are on your path and you are to discover or to learn or experience something, that before you can move to a different place on your path, whether that be to discover something new, what you're in search of, there are things on that path that you need to go through the process. And if any of you have read my book, The Kingdom of Heaven, within the holy book of the great invisible spirit, you will know that I have discovered that I've had 271 past lives on the planet Earth. And as I'd said in a previous show, that there are many old souls on earth who have had many lifetimes on earth. That's what we consider an old soul, somebody who has had many incarnations on this planet. Aha, you're wondering, where else would we incarnate? Well, I tell you, dear friends, that we do have incarnations on many planets and star systems. And in the book, I tell you where I originated from. And if you follow along, you may discover some of my other past lives. Now, I could not go into detail in my book, in this first book, about who I was, because while I was searching about what was I supposed to do with this information, I was finding out so many things about my previous life, including that they were still talking about me. I still have family who exist. There are um, other writings that I have done in this life, in that lifetime, as well as many of the other lifetimes that I have existed. Currently, I do understand and know who I was in about a dozen lifetimes. Exactly what my name was, what my profession was, what my purpose was. And as I was writing the book, I came to learn that I had a message that I always knew that I had something very important inside of me that I needed to get out, that I needed to tell the world that was about to experience something that was so different than anything ever that we have experienced in any of our lifetimes in this existence on the planet Earth. Now, many of you may or may not resonate with some of the things that I say, and that's okay. So, what I really want you to know is when you're listening to me or when you're listening to anybody else, only pick up the pieces that that resonate with you and put them in your pocket. And even if they feel just a little bit, yeah, I think I like that, but I'm not sure, you can just set it aside, because as you move along this journey on earth, you will find out that they will all come together as you become spiritually awakened and on your path. And as the more you collect of this information, the smoother the transition. So now you understand that I had discovered who I was in a previous life. And I believe in the previous um, Doves for Peace presentation that I did, I talked about reincarnating without leaving your body. So as I discovered that I was here to deliver a message about reincarnation and past lives, and as I started to write the book to deliver the message, so many other things were being opened up to me. And that included about our DNA. And when I was told that I needed to deliver this message and write a book to let the masses know that about reincarnation and past lives and DNA. Little did I know that it was going to lead to the information about us, the earth, the galaxy, the universe, reincarnating without leaving our bodies. Try to wrap your head around that. Seems almost impossible. But I assure you that it seems more difficult than it is. So today, I want to take you to the place where I am, where I feel many of you who are listening are. As you know, that there was a recent earthquake in Nepal. And again, this morning, early today, they experienced a second one. And many of my followers on my Facebook page, my Sanetha Facebook page, and my website are from that area. It wasn't long ago that I was asked to come to Nepal. And Sanatha isn't used to traveling great distances like India. And I never did make the trek there, but I am certainly connected to many of the people there who truly their hearts know and understand the messages that I deliver to the earth. And that's why you see the dove on the front of the book flying to the earth. The dove is carrying a fig leaf tree from the fig leaf tree, delivering the message of peace and preparation, just like our program here created by our beloved brother Sean Bradley, who created Doves for Peace, who discovered me on LinkedIn or found me someplace and saw the dove flying to the earth. The dove is a symbol of peace, the dove delivering peace to you. And I remember when my mother was transitioning to the other side, and I spent 36 hours by her bedside before her transition. And I was the only one left out of the 5 daughters who didn't have an emergency happening at that very particular time that could be by her side. And I remember I was in the nursing home where she was staying, and I was very frustrated and angry to, to so many lengths that um, I had my eyes closed and I was praying, please, why do you hold on to her? Why do you let her suffer? Why can't you let her go and be on her way and let her transition in grace and ease? And the angrier I got and the more upset and the more I went in within to get the answers, that's when it was revealed to me. And they showed me a dove flying towards me. It looked like the dove was going to hit me. And then there were 3 doves and 5 doves, and suddenly there was a whole sky of doves flying to me. And at that moment in time, I had no idea what that meant. I knew it meant something. And later I came to discover that the dove was showing me and my family that peace is coming to you. And may I tell you today that peace is coming to you as well. As sure as I feel that peace coming to me, I feel that peace coming to you. I do know that many of you listening here today are suffering from some kind of illness, anxiety, stress, financial problems, relationship problems. And many of these things come from a place, a negative place that sits inside of us. And I will talk briefly about that today, and it's called guilt. Okay? So we all have this guilt. And I will go back to my mother's story. And I often feel guilt for not being there at her precise time of transitioning. And I just told you that I spent 36 hours at my mother's bedside. But at that time, I was coming into my healing abilities. And I discovered that I could work some magic. And before and I I left the nursing home, my mother did not transition at that particular time. My mother had spent years in her entire life from the day that I was born in and out of orthopedic surgery offices because when she was carrying me in her womb, she had fallen in the doctor's office on some water from the snow outside and ended up having surgery on her hip many times throughout my life. Well, I decided when I was beside her bedside that please remove this pain, and I worked the magic that they discovered that she no longer needed her medications that she had been taking all of her life for pain and for other things. And suddenly, my sister flew back to British Columbia. Another one went back to Windsor, Ontario. We all left. And many of them still living near her were able to go and see her for the next 10 days. And it was 10 days, dear ones, when my mother did transition after I left, but I was not there. And so often I felt guilty about not being there because when my father transitioned, I had the distinct honor of being there with him and assisting him. He who, and I write about it in my book, my father did not believe in God. My father didn't believe in anything. My father was a very good man, and I knew many years before he transitioned that he wasn't going to the place that many thought he was going to go to because he did not believe in God. Because I knew inside that even though he did not believe in God, that the God that I knew doesn't send people to a place that is horrible, like they call hell. There, and just so you know, Sanetha does not believe in hell. There is no such place. There is a place that we go when we transition, and that place is the same place that I will go, that you will go. And the only person that will judge us is ourselves. As we judge ourselves now when we feel that guilt, it is important for you to learn today to think about what is it that you feel guilt about. And there could be 100 things on your list. There could be one thing on your list. Or maybe some of you listening today don't feel any guilt whatsoever. And that is great if you are that person. But it is very difficult for a human being not to feel any guilt and move through the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual life that we are given on this side of the veil. So before we move forward on this program today, I want for each of you to sit back and think about that one thing, or take one of the things. You must go with grace and ease. Be easy on yourself. Don't make it difficult. There is plenty of time for you to make this journey, but you have to start someplace. And I know many of you are on that journey and have been for quite some time, as I have. There is always work to do. A master is never done and never stops learning. There is so much more. Never think that you know it all, that you don't have any more work to do. There's always work to do. So sit back and close your eyes and go to that place and think of that thing that you're feeling guilty, it's probably connected to somebody close to you, whether it be a parent, a child, a friend, a spouse. Think of that person and what is it that makes you feel guilty? And go there and understand this to be the truth, no matter what it was. Understand that we create a list of possibilities and probabilities before we incarnate into the lifetime to experience certain lessons that we came here to learn. Because when we do cross over to the other side and we do go into that life review, and we are the judge of what went right and what went wrong and what could we do better when we do decide to reincarnate again. And dear ones, I will tell you, we do reincarnate again, no matter how hard the lessons were and what you went through. Who you were then does not reflect who you are now or where you are going. You need to let go on the other side of the veil what went wrong and also honor what went right. There is no wrong or right. So that you can create a new plan with your soul family on that side of the veil, so that when you do reincarnate, that where you missed the mark, where you thought you were going and where you want to go farther on your spiritual path. Because when you come back to the same place. And you may not awaken to that immediately. You may be awakening to a place on the spiritual path many years into your lifetime before you realize, oh my goodness, I remember I have and you are awakening to certain facts that are resonating with you. So if you feel guilty about something, understand that it was planned by you and the person or persons or many beings, spiritual, physical beings together, so that you could move to a different place on the path, so that maybe you could make an immediate right turn instead of a left, or straight on the path, wherever it is that you needed to go. And I want you to really think about that for a second and understand, if this didn't happen, would I have met a certain person, attained a certain degree, discovered a certain aspect about yourself, showed up on this program to listen to me? What led you here today to hear the messages that Sanetha is delivering to you? A spiritual being who is having another glorious human experience, just like you. Sanetha is my name given to me by my spiritual team, my spirit guides, my soul family, and my angels during the writing of the book. Sanetha, which means many things, including it's a combination of my name in this lifetime, Aneta, and other names that were given to me in many past lives. So think about what is going on with the guilt and really feel it. And some of you may even be very emotional, and it brings up many tears of pain and sorrow. And that's okay. Remember, there is a gift to be discovered, to be found with pain and sorrow. It is a healing. And when you can start to remove the guilt and understand that it was all part of this grand divine plan, and that you can let go and let go of it little by little. But you can do this. And if you are a person that is experiencing an illness, such as something like cancer, think about guilt and what does that do? It festers on the inside of you, and it can cause many things like cancers that fester. It can cause problems with your kidneys or other organs like your heart, your liver. Guilt. This is one of the major causes of disease on this planet. It is a negative energy that over time we began to bring this onto ourselves. There were other lifetimes when we understood that what had happened was to be bygones. So now that we are reincarnating without leaving our bodies, should you choose, just as the earth has chosen to reincarnate without leaving her body, and that's what the earth is doing right now. The earth is having many volcanoes and earthquakes and tsunamis and weather patterns. And you may be feeling this. You may be having many times of unrest, not being able to sleep, and feeling anxious and anxiety. And these are all normal conditions of transitioning as we feel our Mother Earth. Our Mother Earth also feels us, as does the universe and the galaxy. I tell you, you all can heal yourself with some guidance, with some understanding and self-care of yourself. And I also want you to know that even though many of you feel that if your mother or your father or your sister or your brother have cancer, that you are on that list. And that is not true, dear ones. That is an imaginary thought. If you believe that, you bring that to you. I, for one, have a younger sister, my youngest sister, who had breast cancer at age 39, and she's 50 now and has survived that. And I also have another sister who just this past Friday went through a very traumatic, severe surgery removing cancer from her lung. And she has come through this with flying colors. And I was given news yesterday that they were releasing her from the hospital already today. So I want to thank all those out there who worked with me to send guides and angels to her to release what she needed to release. It doesn't mean she's out of the woods. She has much work to do, as maybe you do. And if you're out there listening to me today and whatever ails you, there is a reason for it. And that reason, maybe you haven't discovered. So you need to ask your guides and angels to show you what it is that you need to know, to discover, to find out why you have the pains, the aches, the illness, the sadness, the depression, the anxiety. Why are these things happening in my life that you do not welcome? What is the purpose of it? And only go there just long enough to realize that they're there to show you the way. And once you realize and you start to do the letting go, be sure to be grateful. And if you do have my book and you don't have it, please go to the front of the book and read the acknowledgments in the book. And they are so powerful. Let me see if I can find this really quickly to read to you. the acknowledgments in the book. It is deep within my heart and my soul that I am so grateful to our Creator, all of the angels, spirit guides, and ascended masters. And this you can practice. And all of my loving families, friends, acquaintances, spiritual teachers, and you reading this for your guidance and teachings throughout history so that all of us could find our way home. Again, a special thanks to the love of this life, possibly the love of many of my lives, my dear husband, Lonnie, of 38 years. Well, guess what? We're having our 41st wedding anniversary on May 18th. For always being there, believing and trusting me, myself and I, and of course, whoever else might appear. To my mother, father, children, grandchildren, and future great grandchildren, I see you, I hear you, I love you forever and ever, no matter where your spirit resides. And some of you may know, and some of you may not know that one of my children has transitioned to the other side, and he helped me finish write the book, Michael, and I do write about him in the book as well. And here is the most powerful part on that page that I think will help you let go of some of these things I talk about, the guilt that you might be feeling, or the pain and suffering, or why did that happen to me? Why did they do that to me? To my soul family who have played and or are playing out the most difficult and unpleasant roles, assisting and teaching me and many others so that we can help the masses who will be seeking this information. I give you praise and heartfelt forgiveness with the grandest of gratitude. For if it wasn't for you, the hardest lessons would have been missed. We will hold the door open for you. Our job won't be done till all of us come home. And I find that particular paragraph so powerful because there are some of us who are on the path ahead of others because we have been here so many times and we are showing others the way. And the others aren't any less than. It's just that they haven't had enough lifetime experiences to know the way. So the souls who have been doing these things to us, making us feel sad and giving us pain, you must understand that they're doing it for you because they know that you know the way, that you have been here before. And they may not make it to the new earth in this lifetime. It may be another lifetime or a lifetime after that. Or maybe they will make it in this lifetime. And I pray the sooner the better. So you may be one of those who are showing the way and that will help others up Jacob's ladder. Do you understand? And if any of you have any questions, please go to the chat room and ask or send me an email at Sanetha, Sanetha, at Sanetha.com. And you can see on the screen the website there that has been put there for your convenience. So as you sit there and you start to feel the guilt, and sometimes we carry that with us day in and day out, and every day it gets heavier. And even when you're not thinking about what you're feeling guilty about, when you can come to terms, as you do when you cross over, leaving your body, as we come to terms with what happened, what we did in our lifetimes and what we didn't do, then we can release it and we can go back into our spiritual selves. And I just would like to see what it's 3:36, and I'm trying to make these shows a little bit shorter than I have in the past. They might be a little bit easier to download onto YouTube. And but I I have so many things to talk about. And today, let's talk about the earth changes and the things that are happening with you. Because I want you to know that I am and I have been transitioning this body, reincarnating without leaving the body. And I say it's easier said than done, but even for Sanetha, it is a difficult thing because I have spent my entire life, even though I have a body here, I've been out of body because I've been out, some may call it in la la land, collecting information and bringing it back down to the earth. And when it comes to people like me, it's really hard to come back into the body and ground to the earth. And so that I can deliver the messages to the people so that they can hear them, so that they can see me, so that you can feel my heart, feel my pain, feel my sorrow, feel my joy, and understand what it is that I need you to do. And many of you are also off earth. You need to come back down. And they've been talking about the ascension process when I'm telling you is descension, the kingdom of heaven within the holy book of the great invisible spirit. A spiritual transformation is occurring here on earth as we go through the earthquakes and the volcanoes, and you will see Mother Earth is changing, and her frequency has changed. We are 5D, and you too must bring your spiritual bodies into your physical. And that can be very difficult for some. And that's why there are so many people on the earth in every single community, healers, spiritual teachers, and speakers. Whatever information resonates with you that can help you on your journey. If you have a message that needs to be delivered to the world, you need to step up to the plate and speak up. Do you have the courage? We are living in times of incredible energy, energy that has never been on this planet. You will see many earth changes. They will be everywhere, but they are for the better of mankind. As you make yourself better and on your path and spread your light, and the earth does, we are all in a better place. And for those, the more that they can understand what is happening to us, they will understand who they are and where they came from and why they're here and where are we going. We're all going to the same place. So I'm going to end today with a bit of a meditation for you to take with you. So, and we'll focus on the part of the guilt because it's to me the heaviest and the hardest to let go of, and probably there is so much within you of that carried over from other lifetimes. And remember, they talk about the dormant volcanoes that have never erupted in over 700 years, and certain parts of the earth that have never had an earthquake, and all these things that are happening. Please understand, you have a DNA blueprint that when you decided to incarnate, and every time you incarnated, you only use a very small percentage of that DNA. The DNA that you bring over with you for the color of your hair and the color of your eyes, the color of your skin, parts of your personality, some things that maybe you decided to bring with you to become a child prodigy. Wouldn't that be nice? We make those decisions. But you have a DNA blueprint, 100% full of life experiences, full of gifts and abilities for your accessing, so that you can live a more fulfilling life, so you can live longer, so that you can heal yourself, so that you can be more joyful, have a happier life. There is so much more. And this will take many years for all the souls to be able to be at this place. So I hope you have time to pick up the book and read it and understand it and send questions to me and listen to more of the programs to help you understand the deep reading that it is. And it is not a one-time read, as I have said many times, because it is a healing communication, and you will absorb what you need at the time of the reading and each time. So, dear ones, take time now to close your eyes and take a couple of breaths slowly in and out. And relax. Relax your shoulders and ground yourself to the earth. Visualize the ropes coming from your feet into the earth, connecting you to our mother, and also the silver cord above your head, connecting you to the universe, to the heavens, to the spiritual world. And visualize a beautiful heart around your entire body. It is this heart of yours, the emotions that you show, the emotions that you feel, the emotions that you see. It is your heart emotions connected with your thoughts that will make you very powerful, spiritual human beings, bringing it all together on our earth. To live life to your fullest, with your family, with your friends, whether they be new or old. Many of your current family and friends may have moved on, whether they moved on in physical or just moved on, and you have new ones in your life and more new ones coming. And this is all for a reason. And I want you to ask your guides and angels to show you, what is it that I need to know right now? And understand, if you don't ask them, they can't help you. And there are many of them around you. And they are so excited that you ask them at this time to help show you the way. And be open to receiving the messages that they give you. And when you can start clearing some of the heaviness, the debris that sits in your heart, like the guilt that we spoke about, start letting it go. And it will come back, and then you can let it go some more, because it's been there for a very long time. It is time to set yourself free, free from slavery we no longer need to be. We can be free from all of it. We just need to reprogram our DNA. So feel them showing you the way and move along your path. And as you open your eyes, feel lighter, feel freer. And just understand that whatever it is, the next message that you hear, and you may be repeated over and over again, and maybe you don't get it right away. You will come into vibration with your guides, with your angels, with this new earth, this new frequency that we are living here on earth with. And I wish you well. And I look forward to speaking to you again in 2 weeks' time on May 26th at the same time. Thank you so much again for listening. And I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful week, good health, drink lots of water, and take time to send your energy to our dear Mother Earth and all the human beings who are suffering from her earth changes right now. Many blessings.